we got a serious problem here. There goes the coolant. Temp up and up and up and flashing. Welcome to Hoovie's Garage, the dumbest automotive channel in all of YouTube. But I sure am glad that I had my fun with 911s before the pandemic, because you could buy running egg headlight 996s for under $10,000. You could buy vintage Porsches for like $30,000, and that's certainly not the case today. It seems like it's $100,000 to buy a 911 that you would actually want, and I just don't get it. It's not worth it to me. So I haven't bought a Porsche in a very long time, but I have been thinking kind of hard about Panameras recently. So when I saw this one pop up at auction, I decided to buy it. And I imagine a lot of you are like me, and you first saw these on Top Gear, where Clarkson, Hammond, and May were pretending that it's so hideous they couldn't even look at it. This is so ugly. And as time went on, the cars got better when it comes to looks, but this one is the first year of that jelly bean sort of suppository look from 2010 that everybody made fun of, but it really is an incredible car and spec. Naturally aspirated V8 under the hood, all-wheel drive, PDK transmission. Knew this thing was $115,000 because it really is an impressive spec, and I bought it for $7,500, so 95% off. But there's a reason for it, and I think the main reason is because the hood won't open. And in the Panamera world, that's a big deal. All right, I want you to mentally picture this, and I'd say close your eyes, but I'm gonna have some visual aids here. The Mitsubishi Lancer Evo X, the end of an era for a legendary Japanese sports sedan. A 5-speed manual, all-wheel drive, 4-cylinder turbo engine hopped up just enough to be a blast, but not too much that it blasts apart. And you get the benefit from all of my financial pain and the car wizard's sweet, sweet labor. I'm afraid to actually total it all up, but with the BBS wheels and the Recaro seats and the new clutch on its way in there, which we'll check on in a little bit at the Car Wizards, I'm probably around $20,000 into this Evo. But I'm not selling it, I'm actually giving it away to one of you as I partner with Phantom, and every item you buy on their website, personalized by me, enters you for a chance to win my Evo. But we're in the last 24 hours of this special opportunity. Hoovie's Garage mugs, little blue supercar keychain, and autographs are available to purchase to have your own little Hoovie's Garage memento that supports the channel, but could also send you home in an amazing car. This is my third time working with Phantom, a veteran-owned and operated company, and they do an amazing job, and you can join the happy winners of my Escalade and BMW M6 by going to phantom.com/Hoovie's Garage. Get yourself some exclusive Hoovie's merch and cross your fingers. Now, don't wait, because Monday night, the giveaway will be over. It's done, and you'll miss out on this Evo. Terms and conditions are on the website. Go to phantom.com/Hoovie's Garage, and this is your last chance. So yes, another sight unseen auction buy, and on the surface for $7,500, this looks like an amazing deal. In the photos, it showed the scratches on the rear bumper on both sides. Unfortunately, that one's a little bit worse. So this giant bumper that people hate will have to be repainted, but with the spoiler deployed, it does look a lot better. The later ones, they have the light bar across it and the really cool sort of transformer looking spoiler that looks a lot better. But this one, being a 2010, yeah, that back end's, I mean, it's not as bad as I remember from 15 years ago, where Clarkson, he couldn't even just look at the car because it was so hideous to him. It's really not that bad. But this is an absolutely crazy spec. The one that really stuck out at me in the photos are the carbon ceramic brakes. Look at these big yellow calipers, and yes, those are ceramic brakes, and they do seem totally fine. I was worried I was gonna be spending like $30,000 on brakes or something like that, but ceramics, as long as you don't track them, they can last a really long time, and these look pretty good. They don't have any of the little micro fractures or anything like that. I can slap some pads on there if I need to, but I don't think I need to worry about the brakes. So that option was almost $9,000 back in 2010, and very unusual to see on a 4S. So when these came out, you had the V6 versions, then you had the S with the V8, which this one has, 400 horsepower naturally aspirated V8, the 4S, which this is because it's all-wheel drive, and then the turbo with 500 horsepower, and the Turbo S with even more. So this one, the naturally aspirated, is very unusual to see with these options, and I wonder if the dealer spec'd it out so they could have the highest sticker possible to sell this thing, or if it was a demonstrator to show how you could option one out, because it is very, very fancy. I like this style of wheels. I think this like RS style wheels, and then inside, it is very, very pretty, which this side is locked. We'll walk around, but you can see weird little scratches up here that I think will buff out. Sadly, this wasn't disclosed and I didn't see it in the photo. There's a little crack in the rear glass right there. But you come around, hopefully this side is unlocked. Yes, it is. And the interior, well, it's dirty, but it's not absolutely destroyed. So what has likely happened here is somebody tried to pop the hood, and I'm the one who actually did this with the door sill, and broke off the latch because it didn't work. So the latch is sitting right here, busted off probably at the auction. But the reason why it's busted off is because the cable has come loose. So I was hoping that I could take this sill out and pull on the cable here to open it, and nothing happened. And apparently that is a very, very common thing on Panameras, where the latch fails and you cannot open the hood and there's no emergency release or backup or any easy way to get there. One Porsche specialty shop has a video on this where it takes 4 hours apparently to dig through from the underside, taking the wheel out to get in to be able to reach it to pop it. So this is definitely a thing. But I didn't realize it when it first showed up because the car actually drove just fine. I put probably 30 or 40 miles on it, and the engine's quiet, doesn't smoke. The PDK transmission, which is wonderful, an early dual clutch system, is working just fine despite 114,000 miles, and everything seemed to work. I had a warning for the parking brake and the tire pressures, but otherwise no check engine light, no real issues of any kind, and every button I tried as far as the heated and cooled seats, once again, this thing is loaded up. The sport seats as well, everything working nicely. And I love the two-tone interior with the blue dash steering wheel, this funky wood here, and then the light tan seats, which I think will all clean up really, really nice. And it really does seem like a well cared for car overall because it's only 2 owners and Porsche dealer serviced its entire life. One minor accident on the Carfax, but otherwise glowing service records throughout, to where I felt like, well, this thing's been pretty well taken care of, to where 114,000 miles shouldn't be that scary considering Porsche engines love to go boom. But no LS swap kits for Panameras that I know of yet. So there's a few trim pieces missing, but they're all in the car. So there's that one that just fell down. And then inside of here, in this baggie, is a couple of other little chrome pieces, which actually go to the window switches right here. And they just kind of fell off, they disintegrated, but they're still there to be glued back on. So overall, a pretty nice car. You can tell something probably has happened on the front right because this headlight has been replaced, but once again, someone cared enough to put PPF on the front of this car, which is not cheap. And the original owner had this thing for over 10 years. The second owner, I think around 5 years. So like I said, the owners really cared for this thing, but something has gone very, very wrong. I had one day of nice driving. You see this pretty key that sort of looks like a Porsche. And then I went to start the car, and we got a serious problem here. There goes the coolant. Temp up and up and up and flashing. And as you can see, it's not reading a signal at all for temperature. Yesterday, it was driving perfectly, no problems, no warning lights other than the parking brake failure. So I'm not sure what happened. It could have that legendary coolant pipe leak, which requires removing the intake, which, I mean, it's a job, but it's not the end of the world. Or it could be a sensor, but I can't pop the hood and check the coolant because the hood won't pop. So I'm scared to drive this thing any kind of distance, especially 30 miles to the Car Wizard. And to make matters worse, it is cranking very, very slowly, especially if it's hot. So if it's sitting outside in the heat, it cranks really slow. Or if you run the car for a while and say park it and come back 30 minutes later, then it cranks really, really slow. Yesterday, I thought it was going to leave me stranded. So yeah, something else is going on here, obviously. But unfortunately, I can't really drive it for the video. I'm gonna put it up here and Dennis is gonna come collect it to take it up to the Car Wizards because I'd be crazy to drive it. The engine's fine. And if it's just a sensor, it would be fine driving up, but why would you chance it and chance cooking a perfectly good engine? So we will shut it off here, but yeah, no weird noises. It does have the optional captain's call exhaust, which does sound really good, but I'm not chancing it. I'm not going to be a complete idiot like I have in Porsches of the past and blown up very, very expensive motors. So we'll just leave it be, get it towed to the Car Wizards, and I'll join him once he's able to get the hood up. Apparently the wheel's going to have to come out, the headlight, all this stuff is going to be quite a deal. All right, next day at the Wizards, and apparently they have it open. Wizard! Man, it's Porsche City here. Look at this.
Yeah, we got Porsches in all directions.
Well, this one's a nice old one, mid-70s.
74.
Wow, very nice. Well, same color, same car, basically. Same value, right?
No, not even close.
No, this was way cheap. It was under 10 grand, even though it was $115,000 plus new. So, but it was a gamble. Obviously, a big gamble considering it showed up. I drove it for a day, then it was showing no coolant, and then I couldn't pop the hood. So, popping the hood, it looks like it was the classic latch failure that everybody's all scared of, huh?
Yeah, Danielson spent a good amount of time getting it all apart, and we got it open. We actually removed this so that we don't accidentally close it and latch it again.
Because it was a thing of pulling off the wheel, reaching inside, and
yeah,
crazy.
It was very crazy.
So, what's the story on the coolant leak? Because it could be something kind of scary, huh?
This is like the second or third time in a row you've gotten really lucky.
Really?
Your luck may run out after this one. I'd be careful in the next cars you buy.
Because, like, the coolant pipes under the intake can be a bad thing, right?
It can be, but it wasn't in this case. You got very lucky. It's actually in the driver's wheel well.
Really?
You'll see a wet little auxiliary pump. It's all crusty with ink.
Yeah?
Yeah, it just pours it out the bottom down there. Especially when you drive it and it gets going, it just starts pouring it out.
So that's my only coolant leak on the car?
That's it.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And it's a coincidence because this whole wheel well had to come off anyway as far as the fender liner.
Yeah.
To be able to reach in there. And now you can see this massive, massive carbon ceramic brake, which looks to be in good shape to where I don't need to replace it because that's like $20,000.
Yeah. Those should last the life of the car almost as long as they don't get damaged or anything.
Right. Okay. Well, have you looked at much else yet?
We do notice it has the slow starting you mentioned, and that'll be once we get this coolant situation fixed and get this latch deal taken care of. We're going to dive into that. It could be the starter, or it could be just a bad battery.
Okay. Well, have you gone underneath yet?
Not yet.
Shall we?
Yeah, let's lift it up.
Well, in we go.
No coolant leaks from your radiator area. There does some slight seepage from the oil pan, but nothing serious.
Nothing you would want to touch?
Yeah, it's really not worth it at this point. It's probably taken a year or two to get. We could just clean it off and that'll be fine.
Well, the under tray is pulled and down, and it's wet, but not awful, I guess, huh?
Right, and it would have been pouring right through here. And
oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
You can see the staining and the coolant.
Yes.
Whenever you turn it on and this starts pumping, it just starts oozing out.
So I did notice a slight suspension clunk when I drove it for one day, kind of like a tie rod end or a little bushing or something. Things are looking old but not annihilated.
No. We'd have to road test it once we get it safe to drive.
Okay.
Nothing feels loose.
Okay. Well, that's good.
And your transmission, it's all happy and dry.
Yeah, that PDK transmission is a wondrous thing. And this is one of the first cars to have it. So for the money, I mean, you get a 400 horsepower V8. You get a PDK transmission and 4 seats for 10% of what people want for a 2010 Porsche 911 nowadays.
Yeah, 10% literally.
Because the 911s, they're just so stupid now. It doesn't make any sense to me to own one.
Yeah, they're really, really expensive now. New ones are just... For the money, you can go get a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or something. Yeah.
Yep. Pretty wild. But this one is the 4S, so it's all-wheel drive, the system. But
I don't see any other leaks or anything. Let me see if there's any clunks. Nothing there. Should be a sway bar somewhere. Has to be. There it is. Nothing there loose. Little differential.
Yeah.
No boots torn.
And how do my ceramic brakes look back here?
The rotors look like basically new, and the pads are about 80%.
Nice!
Nothing loose here either. We'd have to really drive it to see if there's any clunks.
Okay. Yeah, and the slow start could be a battery, but what scares me is it's warm when it's worse or sitting for 40 minutes, like a starter's heat soaked or something like that.
Right.
So that could definitely be a thing. But I'm curious, so where's the all-wheel drive spit out of this thing?
So it goes, so here's the CV shaft. It goes up into here on the side of the...
Oh, through the motor itself?
Yeah, the differential is right here on the side.
Okay.
It bolts to the side of the motor.
Interesting.
Runs through the oil pan.
Okay. Well, it's very clever.
Mm-hmm.
So best case scenario, I have that one part, which is how much?
About 150, 160 bucks.
Plus a little bit of labor.
A bit of labor,
and
then your latches and things.
Right.
I think all the parts together is like $500 or $600.
Nice. If I don't have a starter issue.
If you don't have a starter issue.
If it's just a battery, then I have a fully sorted Panamera 4S for under $1,000. And I'm way under $10,000 into it, which would be absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be a bit of a to be continued because they need to dig in and drive it a little bit more.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I can't drive it on video. But there is a Porsche that I can drive home on video, right?
Yes. Apollo 911 is done.
All right. So the Ella Swap 911, she's back on the ground. Oil leak fixed, new front struts.
Mm-hmm.
AC blowing cold again.
Ice cold AC, rides good.
Awesome.
And an oil change.
Perfect. So ready to go right back on the lift and sit for another 3 years.
Yeah, I hope not.
I hope no. I need to put tires on it and then actually drive the car.
It definitely needs new tires. These are gone bad on it.
Yeah, and the Jurassic Park Jeep had a big transmission leak. What was going on with it?
It was just the dipstick tube. The little seal that the dipstick tube slides into was cracked from age or whatever, and it was just slowly puking it out.
Okay. And then I see the Evo. There's been a lot of progress. Yeah, she's still blown apart, huh?
Yes. It's quite an ordeal to get to the clutch on this one. So many parts had to come off, but you can see the hot spots.
This clutch was toast.
Down to the rivets.
Yes. So, good thing... Oh my gosh, okay. Yeah, it is toast. So good thing I didn't kick this down the road for the next guy.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. It'd be slipping pretty bad, even worse before long.
Right, because I am giving this car away to a lucky viewer. So I'm very excited for all of you. It is linked below, and well, we'll revisit this, I suppose, when it's all back together. But for now, I guess you have a bill on Apollo, right?
I do, in the office.
It is Porsche City. Jenny's here with that Boxster S that is awesome. But the R8 continues to pay for things, so on Apollo 911...
Saved you $2,000.
Saved me $2,000. So $2,000 of work. A battery. It seems like I put a battery in this thing every year. I really need to get it on a tender.
Yeah.
And AC charge. Oil change, very cheap because it's an LS engine.
Mm-hmm.
And the strut's definitely spicy because that's still a Porsche part, right?
Yes, Bilsteins.
And you finally got tired of the hood struts.
Yes, we put new hood struts on.
After all these years of failed hood struts. I've had it since 2016, and the hood struts have always been bad. You couldn't take it anymore, huh?
I finally got it done.
Okay, so $2,000. My remaining balance, $12,336 of the $50,000.
We're getting close to the $10,000 mark.
Okay, well, I'll cruise home in her.
Yep, sounds good to me.
Well, this is fun. For those of you that haven't been following for almost a decade, let me introduce you to Apollo 911, my Porsche 911 that I've had for almost 10 years. Bought it with 234,000 miles, which is the distance from the Earth to the Moon, hence Apollo. But not long after I purchased it, I blew the motor at the track, and the car wizard in 2017 LS swapped this thing, and then I took it to the track and blew up that LS motor, got frustrated, sold it, bought it back about a year later, and fixed it properly, and I've had it ever since. So this thing is quite a hoot to drive. It still has the stock Porsche transmission. We got all the gauges to work except for the tachometer, hence that goofy motometer gauge. But she is an absolute animal. That does not sound like a Porsche. So it's a crazy, goofy thing that has been sitting on my lift for a very long time. Mice had actually nested in this thing because it sat outside while I was waiting for the barn to get built. And then when the barn was done, I just parked it. And I don't understand why, especially after I got the muffler fixed. Yeah, there's still a bit of a drone, but it used to be so dang loud, and that's really why I quit driving it. But with the mufflers on it, and now it has new shocks, this thing feels really, really good. Really, the only thing that's happened to this car in the last couple of years is I let my friend Elliot Alvis borrow it, and he took it to a snooty Porsche show where people were looking in the back and wondering, what the heck is this? He shot some reactions that were pretty funny, kind of incognito, and I guess the Porsche Club didn't like their portrayal very much, but it was still very, very funny. But otherwise, it hasn't moved all that much. So now I have working air conditioning, a fresh service and battery. Need to get some tires, but otherwise, she is good to go. Wow. Well, I've been driving Apollo 911 through the weekend and it's been an absolute hoot. It's nice to have it back in fighting form again, but I've been thinking about it. Almost 10 years with this car. What should I do for our 10-year anniversary? Now, I could clean this thing up, make it really, really nice again, but it's always been sort of faded patina even when I bought all those years ago, and 250,000 miles on the chassis. It'll probably never be nice again. So doing that would be something, but also hooning it to craziness, putting a turbo on it or something like that, making it even more insane would definitely be something, but then the transmission would probably explode. So I'm really not sure. I was looking for your input. But over the past few days, the car wizard and Daniel's son have actually been tinkering with the Porsche Panamera. The wizard's out of town, but Daniel says that I can drive it now and we can really assess the thing. So actually, we're going to head back up to the car wizards, and also at the car wizards, the Evo is getting put back together. The transmission is in, so it is very, very close. Just like the giveaway, we're very, very close to the end. So if you want to enter to win, fananthem.com/HooviesGarage, it really is your last chance. But let's take another trip up to the car wizards, even though the car wizard is not there. Well, I'm back because there's some progress, and Wizard is in New Mexico, so I'm just gonna hang out with Daniel. And the gift that keeps on giving here, huh?
Yeah, you know, just removing all this wiring from aftermarket stereo, you know, just your typical backyard repairs.
So how deep do you think we are in this $1,000 Audi? I mean, I spent probably $5 grand before I gave it to you, and with your labor and everything you've done.
Well, without including labor, I think I'm about $4,500 in.
And if you were charging labor, it'd be a $30,000 Audi at this point, probably. But do you like it?
Yes. I'm having trouble getting rid of it. I fell in love with the car.
Good.
I've been driving it a lot.
Well, what do you think of my Panamera now that you've been messing with it a little bit? I see the hood's closed, so is that good?
Yes, it is good.
Hey, there we go. And the wheel's back on it. So have you replaced that little pump there that was leaking?
Yes, that's already all new, and the coolant's topped off. So
nice. Okay. Well, I didn't think I was going to be able to drive it for the video, but I'm driving it for the video.
You're driving it for the video.
You want to go for a ride?
Oh, for sure.
So what about the slow crank?
Well, you tell me.
That seems better.
Yeah, it seems to do that. Like there's like nothing for like half a second, and then it turns on.
Well, no, it wasn't that. It was actually cranking really slow, like wah, wah, wah. So.
Well, I did charge the battery. And when I tested it, it was half of what was supposed to be in the cold cranking amp, so...
Okay.
Yeah, so definitely a bad battery.
I see the parking brake is still very, very angry.
Yeah, and I kind of made it a little bit more angry. And the braking power on this thing is amazing, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Carbon ceramics.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
That it's optioned with the ceramics in the 4S. All right, off we go. Well, it's very angry about the parking brake.
Yeah, that's fine.
But otherwise, driving good. So it's funny that that fender liner came off anyway for you to open the hood, and that's where the coolant leak was.
Yeah, it kind of worked out.
But the suspension still feels a little weird. There's some clunks here and there.
Yeah, I suspect it's the actual shock. The noise seems to be coming mainly from the strut tower itself. But I still haven't pinpointed it.
That sounds expensive.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's why I want to be sure.
Alright, well, let's give these carbon ceramics a try, huh? Ready?
Wait, what do you mean?
That's awesome.
Well, that works.
Yeah, that works. I really, really like this thing. I really like it. They're not worth very much. I mean, even when they're nice with 100,000 miles, 15 grand is a stretch. I got it for $7,500, so I feel like...
Really?
Yeah, I feel like I did pretty good.
Yeah. You know, I'm not big on these cars, but that's a deal.
As long as the shocks aren't 5 grand, if that's what it is, then we're in the money here. And the parking brake, I guess, yeah, that'll get figured out, right? Are you worried?
Yeah, no, it'll be fine. Perfectly fine.
Okay. One last little foot to the floor here. Yeah, that engine's happy. Thank you so much for watching. This worked out.